How do you change people's perspectives when it comes to really seeing the beauty and the value and the relationship when it comes to selling?
The perception is this.
I'm going to be speaking a little bit of truth now, because the mistakes I've made in sales is welcome to the queendom. How do you change people's perspectives when it comes to really seeing the beauty and the value and the relationship when it comes to selling every single day, where it doesn't feel forced and icky?
So the perception is this. If you sold one person, I want somebody right now on the podcast to think about how those 2-3 clients inside of your business feel after you're done doing a service with them, whether they're a fitness trainer, I don't know, a health coach. Like, think of the end result that you've had already with your past clients, or somebody you've helped, somebody you gave advice to. So then people are like, okay, I'm thinking of it. Think how happy they were. Okay, amazing. So really, when you're selling somebody, you're benefiting somebody. Because some people are like, oh, well, selling, I don't want to close this person. But now if you don't sell them, you're doing them a disservice, because now they never get to feel the emotion that your current clients feel by being inside of your business. So to me, if I don't sell or close somebody and I believe in my service, I am completely doing that individual a disservice, because they're never going to feel what my client feels after I'm done. So that's my perspective inside of my business. I put myself in the end position of how my clients feel after I'm done with them. And then I say, wait, let me tap into that emotional state on a sales call, and let me get passionate and fired up about it, because I know what my clients have felt before. So it's not like if you don't sell somebody, you're doing them a disservice. And regardless if you sell them, it doesn't matter if you sell the person or not, they're still going to go on to buy something. The problem is that when somebody's on a sales call, we've convinced ourselves that, well, they're not going to buy today. Well, I think that's a load of BS. If you go tell that prospect, that girl or guy that you're selling to, and they said, oh no, thank you, I'm not interested, or right now, I don't want to make a decision too quickly. Some way they convince you of not buying, right? They closed you, you didn't close them. And now you get off a phone call with them, and they've convinced you pretty good enough where you're like, well, man, not everybody wants to buy today. 5 seconds after they opened up their app, they went on Amazon and they went to go buy some. 99% of the people that are probably on sales calls with people, they're probably have 9 apps open in the background. I can guarantee this. Have 9 apps open in the background, 9 checkout carts, waiting to check out some furniture, waiting to check out some clothes, waiting to check out a dress. A dude's waiting to check out a new set of rims for his car. But somehow somebody sold you out of, oh, no, I'm not going to buy that today. They hang up the call with you. They go buy the new dress or the new rims for their car. So whether or not they buy from you, they're going to buy some today. So and if you believe in your service, I think your service is better than a dress that they can wear.
Hey guys, real quick. Have you ever been stressed out or stuck on a problem you just can't seem to figure out, and then a friend or a mentor comes along with like a fresh perspective and shows you a solution that completely changes the game for you? Now, I'm smiling right now as I say this, because I know I've had a ton of these moments while building my businesses and remembering back to all the people I have been helped by, which gets me so excited. So I want to pass on the information here and give you guys a favor to build this Queendom community. Whatever platform you are listening on, I encourage you to hit that subscribe button and tune in every Wednesday, because you just never know when you'll hear that special something that completely changes the game for you. And when it happens, make sure you leave behind 5 stars so we know our efforts are making an impact. I love you guys. Let's get back into it.
And it comes back to the intention as well. And a lot of the times I've sort of gone back to the relationship and the value I'm here to do and what I'm here to serve. And one of the biggest lessons I've learned in your university, and there's so many points I'm going to bring up from this, but it's having the control and having the belief that while they may not believe in themselves right now, it's you showing them the belief in the service that you provide, which I'm going to be speaking a little bit of truth now, because the mistakes I've made in sales, and this comes back to everything you have been training in your university, is understanding the two different types of clients, or two different types of prospects. You've got the defensive and the over-embellished. And where I've gone wrong so many times, and I'm open to sharing this, is you begin with a sales call. They're so excited. They get into the zone. They're really committed. And the minute you obviously drop the price or the investment, they start to freak out. And something that you've really taught, and this is something I really want for the listeners to hear, how do you bring forward the selling throughout the whole sales call so you're handling objections, so you don't get the over-embellished or you don't get the defensive. You get someone who's controlled, at peace and just gets every part of it throughout the call?
Yeah, I think the first thing is like, customers will always tell you how they want to be sold if you genuinely care about their responses. So I always say the first thing of a great salesperson, a salesperson always seeks to understand a customer's position and doesn't seek to give off their next side of their script. So a lot of salespeople just seek to reply and they don't seek to understand. And we're so eager to be like, okay, tomorrow, so what do you do for a living? And then you're like, well, I sell cars, Daniel. Okay, perfect. So, how much do you make selling cars? And that's a prime example of seeking to reply and not seeking to understand tomorrow. See, somebody that seeks to understand says, okay, awesome, love it. Hey, tomorrow, by the way, let me ask you a question, just kind of going off cuff here. What the heck got you into car sales? Because that's such a hard gig to do. How did you get into car sales? Like, I applaud you to that because that's seeking to understand now. I'm not just firing off to, get to my next question. And something subconsciously happens with clients where they start saying, oh, the person cares. And when the person cares, your prospect starts to care. That's the whole line of where say you give a shit about people, people will give a shit about you. That's it. But majority of people are just there to go into their next question. So they make their client feel like they're in an interview process. And when your client feels like that, they're not opened up and they're not at peace because they feel like, okay, I'm just being led down a sale because it's just a straight line of sale rather than going a little bit deep and saying, oh, this feels a little bit good, right? So I always say, whenever you find the twinkle in that prospect's eye and they start getting a little bit excited or they start getting a little bit mad, go a little bit deeper on them. So they have that sense of trust with you. They have that sense of, oh, this person actually cares. Saying things like, hey, by the way, I was about to, ask you something else, but you said something super important and I want to park on that for 2 minutes. That shows that a salesperson actually cares. The prospect's going to say, oh, the person actually cares because they're trying to figure out. Because the whole point of a sales call is to figure out if your solution is the right fit for somebody. And when you could put yourself in that actual position, because a lot of salespeople don't, they just say, yeah, I'm going to try to figure out if my solution's right. But they don't actually believe that. But if you actually believe that the call's purpose was to figure out if your product can actually help that person win, you will stop, pause, and go a little bit. But majority of people don't think that. They're just trying to say, oh yeah, I'm just trying to find the right people for the right product. No, figure out if your product can actually serve them. Sell yourself that you're only supposed to sell people that you can actually help with your product. When you sold yourself on that thought, you'll go a little bit deeper, clients will feel it, and the sales process will just be a lot more simpler at that point. Does that make sense?
So we're near at the end of the episode. I know I don't want it to end either. And I love you guys so much for tuning in every week and coming to this journey with me. But the good news is it doesn't have to end here. If you've gotten value from today, I have something really special I want to share with you. Now, most people are very dedicated to learning from podcasts or books, but when it comes to taking the action required to make these ambitions come true, they retreat back to their comfort zone and listen to another podcast. But I know that there is a small group of queens listening right now that are hungry for more. You want complete freedom over how you spend your time and money, and you want to be able to do it from anywhere in the world. I understand you. I was you. And now I have complete freedom over my time, location, and money. And I did it all with my social media blueprint. And if you are part of the group that takes action towards your dream life, I have included an exclusive link for you to jump on board below at 50% off. I appreciate you queens all so much. Now let's finish this one with a bang.
I think what really helps in the university that you do, you don't just do the script. Well, you don't really do the scripts. It's all framework. And it's very similar to when you think about a brand. Everyone's brand is different because we all have a different voice. So it's almost like we need to be present in the moment of the sales call rather than thinking, how would Daniel say this in this tonality? It's like, well, no, I have to be a human being. Go into the depth of this person's emotions and use the framework you've given them, but then it's like being actually able to listen to what they're saying or beyond what they're actually not saying. And this is another beautiful thing that I love that you do in the university. You really differentiate the balance between, I guess, having the assertiveness and confidence, yet also having the empathy and, I guess, the nurture around, I guess, lead and love. You talk a lot about that.
Right.